Top of the third inning, Newport on top, 2-0. An RBI double from Zach Britton, and the same for Logan Harvey. Newport takes a 2-0 lead. David Steele back out on the hill. He will face Whiteman, Coro, and Perkins. As we'd like to welcome in Red Sox legend Bill Spaceman Lee into the broadcast booth after his busy day doing on-field festivities and whatnot, throwing out the first pitch. He also threw batting practice to some of these Gulls hitters as he takes a seat by my side. Bill, how are we doing today? How are you enjoying your stay in the city by the sea, Newport, Rhode Island?
Well, I'm actually in Middletown, so I can see Newport.
Right, right.
Because if you're in Newport, you can't see Newport.
No.
But, I threw batting practice. I was a left-hander and seemed to have done a good job.
So here is Simon Whiteman batting for the first time. Steele from the windup, first pitch, breaking ball in there for strike one.
You're right, hanger. Jump on that first hanger.
He just wasn't expecting it, you know. He's like Pedroia, taking the first pitch no matter what.
Well, he's not. He got a short bat.
One shows bunt, then pulls back as that one stays high. Now 1-1 strike. So you were throwing batting practice. I did see you actually break the catcher Zach Britton's bat. You still got some arm side run on that two-seam or what?
Yeah, that was a. I must have farted during the middle of my backswing.
1-1 fastball high.
Took a little off, and he cued it. When you hit a maple bat on the end, it tends to break. This bat this kid is using has got to be 29 inches.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Another breaking ball. That one's in there for strike two. So he's been on fire with that curveball. And
that's exactly right. I'm going to throw him a fastball up and away. He's going to hit a fly ball to right field very weakly.
Let's see what happens. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball high, taken for ball three. That's what he was thinking, just couldn't locate it.
Yeah, it could have been a hanging slider. Everything he throws, it's funny. He looks like a middle infielder. Looks like Kelly Gruber pitching. I look at it.
Here's the 2. That one is a breaking ball, fouled down the first base line.
Yeah. Yeah, I love throwing bat practice. It gives, my theory is if you throw good batting practice, your team has a good game.
If you see the ball go over the fence, you're doing a good job, right?
I am doing my job, you know. Eddie Popowski wouldn't think so. He was my coach.
2-2 high fastball taken for, 3-2 high fastball taken for ball four.
Good.
So, Bill, 14 years in the major leagues, 10 with the Red Sox, played for the Expos as well. How different was it playing in front of a Boston crowd, in front of a Montreal crowd? Did the fans treat you differently? Did they treat you any particular way? Or
well,
how did the media treat you as well?
The media was great, both cities. I think Boston had so many writers, they tried to step on one another to try and outdo each other. And I had more fun telling each writer something different, you know, and just my roommate was Gary Peters. He said, never tell them the truth. Keep them guessing.
Keep them, yeah.
Make them watch the ball game.
Yeah.
In Montreal, it was all French, and it was what a town. It was when I went up there, it was just a party atmosphere. We drew 3.7 million fans 3 years in a row.
1-0 pitch to Coro. Line drive, left center field. Tawa going back to his right. That'll get off the base of the fence. Trucking around second, headed for third is Whiteman, and he will stop at third. Nice relay there from Tawa to Cole Austin, but
he held the old hanger up and away, and he went with it.
And Dave, it looks like Tawa momentarily might have lost that ball in the sun because he was looking in that direction.
Honestly, it happens a lot here. A lot of fly balls, they're losing the lights.
Well, that's what happens when the balls hit that direction, you know, and the sun gets to that low angle.
And Holyoke is the same way. It shines in the same exact angle from the third base bag out toward the right field fence.
This is actually Tawa's first time in center for the Gulls.
Well, get a donor to plant some trees over there.
Here's Ryan Perkins, 0 for 1 on the day. Runners on second and third. Still nobody out. First pitch.
Nice pitch.
That one's in there for strike one in the inside corner.
But I know, Bill, when you went to Holyoke last year, it was cloudy, so when it goes on a sunny day, bring some extra suntan lotion.
Yeah, it rained almost every day in Holyoke last year. It seemed like it was a wet summer, but they won it all because of that. Here we go.
On pause. Here's the 0-1. And it's a fastball in the dirt. 1-1 strike.
Yeah, because of the way the sun beats down on the booth, I have more wrinkles than any broadcaster in the league.
Oh, I love this field. It's set up just like a big league field. The hitter's got a good background. And the sun, you know, wear glasses. Pick the ball up on the bat. You know, it's a big center field here, so you got to really play them straight away.
It's a quirky center field as well.
Oh, it is, with that angle in there, you know.
Hey, you played some center field, at least in the Red Sox alumni game. You were all over the place.
I am. I'm like horse manure. I'm all over the place. But I can do that. You know, I play right field in my senior league games. I love right field.
1-1 pitch, fists him inside for strike two.
Little slider. He got a lot of slider spin on everything.
And, of course, Bill, you played with the right fielder who is as good as anybody, Dewey Evans, defensively.
Yeah, I did. He covered a lot of ground. Freddie Lynn, Jim Rice, when he was younger and left, played well. Yastrzemski got old. They moved him to first base. But Freddie Lynn, in between Freddie Lynn and Evans, and with the big right center field, you just pitch everybody away, play them away. There's a rolled over on a ground ball. First baseman's got to cover.
And they make the play, but scoring from third is Whiteman.
Well, game's over. I said it was going to be 2-1 with the wind blowing in, so we can go home now.
Right. You know, I used to joke about Lynn and Evans that 2/3 of the earth was covered by water, and those two did a nice job covering that other third, which was right center at Fenway.
Yeah, it was Bobby Bonds and the three outfielders for the Giants that covered all the earth. The rest was covered by water. Yeah. There was some great outfielders when I played that could flat out fly.
Al Kaline.
Kaline couldn't move. He looked like he was grazing out there. It was late in his career.
Right. I mean, early in his career, he had a rifle arm.
Yes, he did. But I played him his last year.
Yes, I remember.
I walked him on a 3-2 count on a breaking ball right down the middle, and he flinched, and the umpire was going to call him out, and he started at first base, so the umpire wasn't going to ring Al Kaline up, and I yelled at him all the way to first base. I said, the pigeons haven't sat on you yet. You're not a statue yet. Sing the goddamn bat. I got a wife and family to feed.
One fouled off the end of the bat.
One of my best memories of you, Bill, was back in the 1970s. Yaz didn't like a strike three called. He covered the plate, and then you threw some glasses out to the umpire, and you both got ejected.
Exactly. Yeah, well, his dog left him, when the dogs leave him and stuff. This umpire's pretty good, though. I like him. He's lanky. He's got a good positioning.
He's confident with his calls.
Yeah, he is. He's confident with his calls.
0-2 pitch.
Ooh,
That's sliders.
That was a nice slider.
Got him to chase on the outside part of the plate. And now they're 2 down here in the top of the third inning. Still 2-1, Newport on top.
His heart was in it, but his ass wasn't. You see his left cheek go out.
He just kind of, by the time it was finished sliding, it was in the left-handed batter's box.
Exactly. It was that's what happens when, that's the best breaking ball he's thrown.
Here's Tyler.
This is a clutch 2-out hit he's got to get. But we said the game be 2-1, so I wanted to end just right here.
There's pitch to Kapusinski. He's popped up.
Ooh, he just missed. He wants that back. That was a good wiggle. Ball beat him just a little bit.
And Kapusinski's come up with many clutch hits so far this season for the Blue Sox, so he could make you look like a prophet if he comes through.
Well, he just missed his pitch right there.
What are you going with right now?
I throw him a changeup blowing away. He'll roll over on it, hit a weak ground ball to first.
Bet he'll throw something a little off speed.
Oh, he's coming in. Better be in.
Long pause. Here's the 0-1 pitch.
Oh, it's
fastball hit on the ground, right side. First baseman Harvey touches first to retire the side.
Hit it good.
Nice play there. Nice reaction.
Hit it good. Hit it good. Nice one hopper. He stayed with it.
So we'll keep it right here just to, take advantage of this. It's awesome having you in Newport.
Well,
it's awesome having you on the field and whatnot. Can't ask for a better day. I mean, a couple clouds in the sky. If you don't want it too sunny, then you lose the ball.
Wind was blowing in. I kept the ball in the ballpark. It was just perfect. It was the best of days. When I woke up in the morning, the wind was howling out of the northwest. I thought it was, if in February I told my wife it would have been 20 below zero. So it was one of those post-storm games.
Yep.
And, it's going to be nice for the rest of the summer. I hope you get all your rain in the evening, and on your days on the road.
Yeah, we've had a couple fog outs, actually. We were fogged out here in the third inning of a game a couple weeks ago, and we were fogged out after 7. That one counted. The Gulls lost it. But,
wow.
It's been kind of cold. You have cold water and a warm day. I think that's what the meteorologists say.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
As Carl Sandburg said, the fog rolls in over little cat's feet. That's poetry.
Is it? I mean, you're a writer.
I am.
You're a writer.
I write poetry. I read poetry, and I'm I'm a Renaissance guy. People don't know that, but I make wine, I make bats.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually heard in the interview, you make bats and you make sure the wood doesn't have a heart.
Exactly.
That's the key.
Yeah, I call those Carl Yastrzemski bats. They don't have a heart.
Only you would be able to know.
Well, Carl would like that.
Truly.
Yeah. When he opens his wallet, Moz flies out.
2-1 Gulls on top here, bottom of the third inning. Tim Tawadu up for the second time. He had a nice single.
Yes, he
First pitch
did.
swing and not waste that. When you talk about jumping on the first pitch.
And the funny thing is, I called double play next pitch. I said if he's first pitch swinging like that.
That was their first pitch. This one grounded into center field, second hit of the ball game.
Talk about a CNI hit. It got under the glove of Domkowski and got under the dive of Whiteman. And, Bill, one thing that's always bothered me, in a fair world, the 75 Sox would have been world champions. In my opinion, they were the greatest team not to win a World Series. Unfortunately, you were up against the Cincinnati team that was probably the best National League team in history.
Yeah, it was up there. They said that, but if Jim Rice doesn't get his hand broken, we
Right.
win that. There's that changeup again.
And then, of course, that disputed no interference, that non-interference call,
Armbruster.
Armbruster, yes.
That was terrible. If it doesn't rain in the second game of the World Series and they bring Moret in,
We
we win that ball game. Moret,
Right. And how about Juan Beniquez standing there watching that ball drop fair instead of catching it? And he probably thought it was going to go foul, but it just caught the chalk in. You had him. You held Cincinnati to 1 run for 8 innings.
Yeah.
They couldn't solve you.
No, I had a great second game. And there's a curveball popped up. But it's amazing. If ifs and nuts were candy and butts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
Yes, we would.
And that's it wasn't meant to be. It was that 3 days of rain between Game 5 and Game 6 really was amazing. To have 3 days of rainouts with the tropical depression. There's so many. High fastball just missed. Good call. They're not calling the ball up, but there was a sea captain that had a load of swordfish and Ben Benson, and he wanted to watch the games, and he did, and his swordfish spoiled, and he got fired.
Ooh. 2-2 Tawa was off, foul to the backstop.
And Ben Benson, I met him in the Gila Wilderness in New Mexico, and he started yelling and screaming at me, "You cost me my job. I was from Machias. I had a load of swordfish." I'm going, "I'm sorry. It wasn't my fault." But it's an amazing stories that I have run into that came out of that series that were life-changing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And the Fisk family to hit that home run at 12:43 in Game 6. It was the greatest World Series of all time.
And Dewey Evans, a flair for the dramatic, not only that great catch in Game 6,
Yeah.
but the home run in Game 4 at Cincinnati to tie the series.
Yeah. No, it was amazing. And then Tiant goes out and throws that ball game, and Johnson goes to the mound and prays for him to get the last out, and Griffey lines out to the right center field fence, and we win the ball game. It was like, and we were alive. We were alive
Right.
for Game 6.
And Bill, do you think there are a lot of similarities between Louis Tiant and Pedro Martinez, their style, the way they made the ball move? Neither one of them were fastball pitchers. They were finesse.
Louis was two different pitchers.
Louis was stronger.
Louis struck out 19.
Yes.
It was a double play ball.
3-2 hit on the ground. Whiteman, the shortstop, goes to second for on the relay from Coro, is in time, just kept his foot on the bag. So second time Austin's grounded out into a double play, and they're 2 down. And you called it the first time.
And I called it
You called it the second time.
history it's amazing. If you throw enough ground balls with a runner at first base, you're going to get a lot of double plays. And I made my living. I threw more double play balls than Jim Cott. And Cott played longer than me, but I had more assists than Jim Cott. I had less errors, and he got the Golden Glove every year because I wore a Wilson and he wore a Rawlings. Rawlings gave out the award.
Yeah, that's,
Politics.
that's politics is what it is. First pitch to Mangra misses off the plate, 1-0.
It'd have nothing to do with conflict of interest.
Yeah, certainly not.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I love the field. I threw to contact, and I like this little left-hander. Ooh, there's a
Line drive, caught in the air by the shortstop Whiteman for out number 3. So still 2-1 Gulls on top as we head already to the 4th inning. 75 team Certainly way before my time. So
Yeah, you
I can only relate so much.
I
but-
was in junior high at the time, and I cried my eyes out after Yaz popped that, had
I
that
know.
pop out
Off
for
of
the
Will
last out.
McInerney,
Oh,
You know, he popped up everywhere his last time up.
Yep.
He popped up in 67, he popped
78.
up in 75, and he popped up in 78 to Greg Nettles.
yeah.
And they have a statue to him, a basswood relief that the famous carver did, and it was a jet blue, gate 32. And it shows him overstriding, dropping his back shoulder. So if you go on a jet blue flight, you can see Yaz popping up forever. This is brought to you by JetBlue Airlines.
So were you, you know, obviously a very skilled team, but were you guys just really close from the get-go? How, like, did you know? I mean, did you know early on, or was it dog days of summer?
Well,
was it off the field stuff?
Actually, I believe you finished second in 73 and 74 to the Orioles in the AL
Exactly. In
East.
72, we lost by
Yes.
half a game to Detroit.
And they got
We
to play one more game
exactly.
because of the strike season.
We should have won in 72,
Yes.
73, 74, 75, 76. Fergie tore his Achilles tendon, and I got in the brawl in Yankee Stadium. In 76, 77, we were out of it. 78, we came back. So we could have won it potentially 5 out of 8 years that I was there.
Yep.
I should have been in the hunt for the World Series 5 years.
If Don Zimmer had pitched you, you would have won in 78. The Yankees could not solve you, and that's why I think they targeted you in that brawl, because they knew they couldn't hit you. They punched at your shoulder.
Pesky told me he saw Zimmer talking to Steinbrenner. And I said, Johnny, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. And that's the last thing Johnny Pesky told me before he died. I believe the fix was in because Zimmer had a cushy job with Steinbrenner after that for his life. And I believe then he went to Tampa Bay. Where does Steinbrenner live?
Tampa Bay.
Conspiracy theory? I think so. And I believe I'll take it to my bed.
You're the second person that has said it. I was the first person that said that to my friends that the fix was in.
There you go. I thought the fix was in myself.
Thank you for verifying that for me. You've made me look good.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Cardines Field. I'm Mike Lode alongside Dave Peck. The first pitch is swung on, ground ball to the shortstop, Austin. Sidearms at the first for the out. 6-3 if you're scoring at home. 1 up, 1 down for the Blue Sox. Top of the fourth inning. That will bring up the DH number 13, Richard Constantine, who grounded the third back in the second inning. 1-1 score here between a battle of the Titans. And Dave, both teams look like first place teams. Good pitching, good defense, and clutch hitting so far.
Yeah, it's been very sharp. Everyone's doing exactly what they have to do. Good job from both arms so far.
Hanging slider. Strike. Took it.
Actually, Newport leads 2-1, but still, the first pitch is taken for a called strike to the business major from Western Kentucky and resides in Huntsville, Alabama. Right-handed hitter, 6'3", 220, comes in with a 257 average. Outfield playing deep, the middle infield on the edge of the outfield grass. Corner infield is playing back. Next pitch
Fastball up and away.
misses, so the count is even at 1-1. Slight breeze blowing from right to left. You're looking at the flag down the right field line here at historic Cardines Field. And next pitch is swung on and missed. It looked like Billy took a little something off that
Slider.
pitch.
Backup slider, we call that. He got on top of it. It dropped down and in.
He's gone to that a lot. He's looked sharp with it.
Yeah, it's hard to make that do that. It was kind of like the Japanese guy we had with Boston. He had that gyro ball. Ooh.
1-2 pitch just misses outside, so the count is even at 2-2. I'm Mike Lord alongside Dave Peck in welcoming Bill Lee, Boston Red Sox legend and Southern Cal academic All-American Bill Lee.
Yes, I was. Geography department. I was topped in the geography department.
The pitch,
Ooh, slider,
high
right by.
slider is swung on and missed for strike 3. So Constantine goes down on strikes, 2 up, 2 down. That'll bring up the third baseman, Freddie Landers. And Bill, I've often tell people that you can recite the Magna Carta without a teleprompter in front of you, word for word.
Well, the Communist Manifesto.
Yes.
I can,
First pitch is swung on, ground
Jammed
ball up the middle, ranging to his right is Cole Austin, fields it, throws it to Logan Harvey, who digs it out of the dirt for the 6-3 ground out.
quick hitting.
So Steele retires the Blue Sox here on the top half of the fourth inning. We're midway through 4 here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. The score remains the Newport Gulls 2, the Valley Blue Sox 1. You're listening to this game on the Newport Gulls Broadcast Network.
We'll keep it right here. Couple other quick, 4 books. Spaceman, A Baseball Odyssey. Does that have anything to do with the David Bowie song / album or the movie?
None.
Neither.
I was nicknamed the Spaceman by John Kennedy, not the president. And he was a little third baseman. He made a date with a divorcee down the third baseline in Baltimore. I had pitched 8 2/3 innings of relief of Louis Tiant, and we landed on the moon that day.
Okay.
And that's how I got the nickname.
Okay.
It was basically I got named that because of a horny third baseman.
And Bill, I also forgot to mention you played at Southern Cal under the legendary Rod Dagelin. What a baseball mind. You know, Sparky Anderson
Was his bat boy.
Right. And he said when he was a kid, he used to watch Dagelin, learn a lot from Rod Dagelin.
Learned everything
Who
from him.
better to learn from than Coach Daigle?
He was the bat boy for the USC Trojans. He got the job because he was such a skinny little kid. He would go up on the Von Kleinschmidt Center and get the balls out of the gutter. And he was the only guy brave enough to do that, and he climbed the tree in right field. And Rod said, you can have a job here for life, and that's how he learned the game of baseball. His name was Georgie Anderson.
Yes, George
It
Anderson.
wasn't
I remember
Sparky
that.
back then.
I remember back then it was George because I grew up a Detroit Tiger fan, so of course I followed Detroit in the 80s.
There you go. Yeah, a guy named Frost, who wrote Twin Peaks, the movie, that bizarre movie with
Yes.
David Lynch, I think, production. I see him. They're giving awards out here today for, I don't know what that award is, but you got Wally
Wally's here.
the Wally the Fifth. I
Yes.
think there's 5 of them.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's,
So Wally followed you, Bill.
Only
Greatness
twins.
follows greatness.
Really?
Paz is here, too. You talked to Paz at all?
The only mascot I ever liked, well, there's 2. I like the Chicken and the Philly Fanatic. Those are the only
You like
2.
the Philly one.
I love the Philly Fanatic. He was hitting on my ex-wife one day when I was running around the field. He started throwing chairs out, and then he started pounding on his heart when my wife was in the stands, and she got panicky. So I jumped in and I grabbed the Philly Fanatic and threw him on the ground and was pounding him. There was only like 5 fans, but they loved him.
There's some beef between the Philly Fanatic and Wally in the
Oh, I
history.
would-
I believe so.
Oh, is there?
I don't think they like each other very much.
Well, that's why they have races. That's why
And-
they have horse races.
Welcome back to Cardines Field, bottom of the 4th inning, as Dalton Reed takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. The curveball misses
2 in a row.
inside, so count is 2-0. Mike Lord, your escape from political correctness alongside Dave Peck and a legend, Bill Lee.
Well, here comes the fastball pop fly.
And
Ooh,
the pitch
another
is
changeup.
swung on and missed.
Wow,
So the
fooled
count
me
is 2
too.
balls and 1 strike. 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors for the Gulls. 1 run on 2 hits for the Blue Sox. Next pitch is swung on and popped foul onto America Cup Ave. So the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he hit 2 bombs off me in batting practice. Let's see if he keeps his shoulder running on his fastball. Here we go. Big pitch here.
And the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Curveball
Slider.
is swung on. A bouncer right back up the middle. And Dombrowski fields it. The lob to first gets past Kapuscinski.
Talk about the light in the sun. I mean, that was right there. You had no idea. No clue.
You got to communicate that before the inning on a ball back to you. You got to roll it to him. With the sun was right directly in his eyes.
Big break for the Gulls, so that'll probably go as an E3. And it is.
Yeah, you watch these guys now, Bill, and I heard you talking on the field before. How different are these crop of players, this generation of players, compared to when you played? As far as what they're doing in the summer, what they're doing in training, in college, this and that, in order to get to the same place.
I told them they're all just as good as J.D. Martinez. They're all as good at athletes, and all they have to do is tap their potential by slowing time down and being quiet and learning from that. And when you slow everything down, the game is easy. And I think they learn, And I would have given the air to the pitcher because he's the one who threw the ball. I would have made sure I didn't throw it in the sun, But then again, they share the responsibility.
The pitch misses outside. The count is 2-0. And Bill, the pitcher Dombrowski had plenty of time to run over and
just throw
let
it
him
on
know
the
and just
well, he
underhand
should
it.
have. He should have known before the inning started that they had this communication. First baseman should have told him.
The 2-0 pitch just catches the outside corner for a called strike. The count is 2-1. And I like some of the old parks, the quirkiness, like Detroit 440 to straightaway center field.
Yeah.
At the start of game time, it'd be 7:30 at home plate and 6:30 at the center field fence, the 1 hour time difference.
It was a big one, yeah. Stanley used to play shallow. He was a great center fielder for them.
The 2-1 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2. The count is even at 2-2. And 440 was the shortened fence. The original was 467 at Tiger
Unbelievable.
Stadium.
The Tiger Stadium had the overhangs,
Yes.
had really short left and right. Reggie Jackson hit the longest home run in the history of the All-Star game,
Off the light tower.
off of Doc Ellis. That was one of the hardest hit balls I ever saw in my life.
The 2-2 pitch is swung on and chopped foul off the foot of Hogeson. The count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, now his puppies are sore. He fouled that breaking ball off his toe. Gonna reach down. Oh, it's off his shin, right just below his ankle.
Looks like he has a guard there.
Yeah, it found that little opening between the guard. Guys that I see wear guards, that tells me they roll over on the fastball. So I just throw them down and in and let them wear both their feet out.
So it's a tell.
It's a tell. It's exactly it. Now I throw him the high fastball, 4-seamer up, strike him out.
Hogeson out of Arizona State takes the fastball up and in.
I mean, you hear it hit the glove, I take a look
Count
at
is
you, it's
full
crazy.
3-2.
I mean, what kind of wizardry are you pulling over here?
No, it's not wizardry. It's experience.
The crystal ball is working.
2 double plays already. Ball's caught in the sun.
Exactly.
Runner on second, nobody out for the Gulls. They lead 2-1. Dombrowski sets the payoff pitch.
Breaking
Swung
ball.
on and missed. Strike 3 off-speed breaking pitch. Gets Hogeson. So
Gets me too.
one
I can't-
out and runner on its second base.
All right, son. I can't hit that pitch either.
That last pitch that he had to lean back, a little chin music. And Bill, I've always said that chin music leaves a sour note to the hitter.
Well, it does, but then you throw the chin music, even a miss sets up the breaking ball away,
It does.
which he just did. All you have to do is put that shadow of doubt that ball's there, and you can't hit the slider away, unless you're Willie Mays. Because Drysdale used to knock Mays down all the time, and then the next pitch he'd hit a slider in the right center field gap.
Cody Hose takes the first pitch for a called strike, and Hank Aaron also had a pretty good career against Drysdale, too. I believe he hit 11 home runs off him.
Yeah. But Drysdale didn't knock Aaron down because Aaron would have come out and pounded him into a little puddle.
Next pitch is swung on line foul out of play down the first base line. The count is no balls and 2 strikes.
Right on top of the snack stand there.
Yeah, that got somebody. We got to pipe her down.
Line shot.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have seen the ball. The sun's right in their face.
Yeah.
So even the home plate umpire's looking over.
Yeah. Passo's there. Oh, it's a young lady.
Oh, wow. That's something you don't like to see.
Well, she didn't see it.
The
Jam
first pitch
shot.
is
Jam
lifted
shot.
to shallow center field, but under it is Frankie Gregoire, and he makes the catch for out number 2 on the broken bat, shallow fly ball to left field. So 2 outs.
Well, he can come to me. I make bats. I can sell them right. $80 today.
What's the company called? What's it
It's
called?
Axis Bat. Axis Bat in Fall River, right down the street. We made Cabrera's bat, Vladimir Guerrero's bat, Tejada's bat. We made most of the Dominicans' bat. We were called Nacona before. And then Nacona went back to Texas, and now we started up. Nacona of New England went bankrupt, but we weren't part of them. We made their bats, but we were called Goodwood Inc.
Zach Britton, who had an RBI double back in the second inning, takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. The count is 1-0 to Britton out of Louisville. And Louisville's famous for baseball bats, as the off-speed
Another
looked
slider.
like a slider missed. Was swung on and missed low and inside. The count is even at 1-1. The lights come on here at Cardines Field. Still a lot of sun in the outfield. Half of the infield is covered in shadow, as is the third base bag. The windup and the slider misses outside, tails away from the left-handed hitting Britton. The count is 2-1.
How much are you following, like, the Red Sox nowadays? You know, you're still playing in men's leagues. You're still active in the game.
I am, and I do radio for a radio show, WROR, Lauren and Wally show on Monday. It's the most listened to segment of all Monday morning radio. And then I do Montreal. I do 5 days a week in Montreal on the TSN Sport Network up there. I've been doing that for 20 years. So I'm interested. They're big, Montreal's big Red Sox fans. They were hoping Tampa Bay would go up there, be in the American League East. They would be called the Montreal X-Rays.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
So deuces are
bad.
wild
Yeah.
here in the bottom of the second inning. And I'll tell you, that would be good for the AL East, Bill, because
Yes, it
Montreal would have a rivalry with Toronto as well as Boston.
Exactly,
Yeah.
in New York City.
Yes, in
you know,
New York.
It'd be a license to print money in Vermont. Everybody'd have to drive through Vermont, and we would hang them by their ankles and shake all the loose change out of them. You know, and they have to go by through Holyoke, you know, if they're coming up from Connecticut, the Red Sox fans, right? So
Oh, yeah.
we would get them everywhere. We would have toll bridges everywhere up there. And that's a way I believe the American League East. Who won?
Count this full. Next pitch
Hit
is
ball.
swung on.
He got
Long
it.
fly ball looking up, and this ball is
Off the wall.
high off
Double.
the wall. Right off the top of the wall. One run is going to score in Britain. And they got him.
He's safe. Terrible tag. Terrible tag.
Oh, wow.
I mean, there was just miscommunication. There were three
ball.
guys there, and nobody even knew
Terrible
what to do.
tag.
Missed Freddie Landers, and Britain alertly took third base, and Landers just missed him on the tag. It looked like he had him by a mile.
Terrible tag. He didn't put the ball in frand of the bag. That's where everything's going
So,
to happen, right? at the
That's
bag.
his second RBI double, and he's going to take third on the throw, I believe. So the Gulls expand their lead to 3-1.
I mean, that was a moonshot, and it still hit off the top of the wall.
Yeah, wind held it in.
Yeah, the wind's blowing in.
He didn't even
from right.
try and tag.
It was a scrape. It was a paint scraper, they call it. Ooh, he's mad now. He humped up
As
on
the
that fastball.
pitch missed up and in. Either that or I thought I saw the ground crew spray more gravity in right field. That way the ball wouldn't travel as far.
Well, he got a double because he was watching it. He thought it was out.
And the
Change
pitch
up.
is swung on line drive down to the left field line. Fair ball. Another run is going to score. Britain will score from third, rounding first and stopping at second with his second RBI double, Logan Harvey. So Britain and Harvey are 2 for 2 with RBI doubles.
A nice little production here from the 7 and 8 spot, and hey, just outside pitch. He just kind of came around
Hang
it
and change up.
and swung it and lined it in there.
Hang and change up. You can always find a hole on a hang and change up.
I'll tell you, the Gulls are lighting up the scoreboard faster than Macy's lights up their Christmas tree.
That's a brick and mortar store. They don't sell anymore. Trust me. Brick and mortar's dead.
Yes, Amazon has taken over.
Trust me.
We trust you.
Yeah, I tell you, all I do is see the UPS truck coming up the hill all day long.
Dylan Plouffe swings at the first pitch and fouls it off to the left side. The count is 0-1. And so for the Gulls, 2 runs on 2 hits. They extend their lead to 4-1 over the Valley Blue Sox now.
Well, there was my 2-1 ball game.
Plouffe out of Washington State. And Kennewick, Washington.
Yeah, my ex-wife used to live there.
Next pitch is swung on and fouled off to the left side. The count is 0-2.
You know where Kennewick is?
Never been there.
Pasco, Kennewick. It's a bridge over the Columbia River. It's a wine industry now. Walla Walla wine industry.
Oh, yeah, in the
Some of
far east end of Washington.
Some of the best wines in the world are made in eastern Washington.
In mountains as well.
I love it. I love it. Sleight of Hand Winery from Walla Walla. Great
0-2
stuff.
pitch taken for a call, strike 3. So Plouffe goes down on strikes. That'll do it for the Gulls, but not before they get 2 runs on 2 hits and they leave a runner. We've completed 4 innings here at historic Hardings Field in Newport, Rhode Island. And the score is now the Newport Gulls 4, the Valley Blue Sox 1. You're listening to this game on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Sunday, July 29th, it's the New